Hi guys, it's Amy and you have found Amy Loves Crochet. Thank you so much for clicking on my video. I do sincerely appreciate your time. My channel has just been growing and growing beyond imagination. I don't know how YouTube sets up the algorithms that so many people see it in a big bump like this, but thank you for everybody who has come to see me and subscribed for the first time, and for those of you who have seen me before, thanks for coming back. So I've got a project today that is not quite finished, almost, and I have not been feeling well. I don't know if I've got some kind of a cold or it's just some allergies, but I've been very congested, and for like well over a week. So if you saw my last video, which was a tutorial, I apologize for the sniffles. I know it sounds really bad, and I hate to realize that I had that on there after I'd completed the entire tutorial. So apologies for that. That's also the reason why my current project isn't quite finished. But I just had to show it to you because it's so amazing. So what I found was a pattern that was done by, the video was done by Mikey with the Crochet Crowd. And the pattern is called the Bernat Lacy Crochet Shawl. And after I found it and started working the project, you know, I mean, as a matter of last night, I went to pull the link to make sure that I had it to put in the description down below for you guys. And I found that Marley Bird has also done a tutorial for it. So, you know, depending on who you like more, I love Marley Bird, I love Mikey, so I'm glad that I had already found what I was going to work when, you know, when Marley Bird came along, so that I didn't have to make a choice between the two. So now you guys will get to have that choice if you wanted to take on this pattern. It is called an intermediate, if I'm not mistaken, and I only believe that it's intermediate because there's something that comes with experience when you're reading a pattern or when you're doing a pattern. Like, for example, we've got times where you just do double crochets one right after the other, and we've got some where you do a space in between, and you've got some. So reading the pattern and remembering where you're at, there's only like 2 stitches done through this whole thing, but you have to kind of have the experience to know how to go with it without, this isn't making any sense, I'm kind of rambling. I feel like I'm experienced strongly, and I continued to go back and count and continued to frog, and so that's the only reason I think that it's considered an intermediate, or, you know, maybe an advanced beginner if you're really focused and determined to get through it. The stitches that you use are going to be half double crochets and double treble crochets, so I love how quickly not only a treble crochet grows your project, but a double treble. So the other thing that excited me about this was the yarn that I was going to use. Now, Mikey used Bernat Value Big Stripes, and he used 4 balls that are 252 yards. So what I wanted to use, because it's a 4 weight yarn, and the hook that he used was an 5.5 millimeter hook, which is what I would have used with this yarn, because I think it's kind of a fat 4. Anyway, I used Impeccable Speckle Stripes by Loops and Threads. It's a really great ball of yarn, if you ask me, skein of yarn, whatever you want to say. Now, this one I had started and then had to regut, so that's why it's kind of out like this. But the colorway that I used is called Lovely, and it's this red and kind of maroonish, as well as this peach, that you then get these really dark red, or, you know, I don't even know what color, burgundy, where am I? Right there. So it's got some really great coloring in here, and a lot of times when I do crocheting with skeins of yarn that change color, I always make sure that they're going in the same order, so that you're not back and forth on the colors, so that it looks like it's cohesive through the entire project. This one I didn't. I just grabbed them. So I really like the way that the colors are just all over. I didn't worry about color coding whatsoever. So first I'm going to put in the picture right here, because the picture is what really grabbed my attention. I didn't really read the pattern until I got into it. I saw this picture and knew I had to do this project, whatever it was going to take of me. So I still have, I don't know, maybe 8 rows to do or so. But here is mine. I'm going to grab it from the top. Boom. I cannot say how much I love. Now, this is the front side of the double trebles. But what you do with those half doubles is you do post stitches. So it gives you this ribbing. Can you take it? Look at how beautiful that turned out. I could not even stand it. So see how your double trebles come along, and it's a wave. It's like a feather and fan stitch where you've got, you know, valleys and peaks. So you come down here. Let me show you upside down this way. And that's the thing. You kind of work it in the opposite way that you're going to take it and hold it. So you do like a cluster here. This is the main grouping. You do a cluster of 5 double trebles here, and then you start to do this swaying motion. So it goes down and then it comes back up. So here when you're skipping stitches, you know, that's what does your valleys, and then here your peaks here, you do multiples in the same stitch. You do 5 in each, and you do 2 of them back to back here. So all the way along this section where you do one group of 5 and then some doubles with spaces here, and then another another 5 cluster here, that is going to be your repeat through the pattern. The place where it's going to change is along the edges and up at the top. So at the spine, you do a different amount of individual double trebles to create the difference in your row length. You'd understand if you ever worked on a growing pattern like this, where you need the same cohesiveness in between, and then where you're growing, you just do individual doubles to get your sides to grow up like that. So then every side gets 3. I mean, it's a very, very repetitious pattern as long as you can keep track of where you're at. Because like I said, in some cases, you do spaces in between, and then other times you do not. So you kind of have to keep on track of, you know, where you're at in the pattern and so forth. So if that's something that still gives you a little bit of struggle, then maybe this is not the right pattern for you. But even if you're a beginner crocheter, if you've got the focus to read your pattern and get through marking off where you're at and so forth, then I think you can knock this out. Because again, it was really just 2 stitches, half double posts, and then the double trebles, either individually or in clusters. So like I said, I got a couple of rows to do still, maybe 8 or so. But mine is it's a really good size. If I end up using all 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 skeins, then I will be about 200 yards over what Mikey's was. But it's nice and thick, so this is definitely not your summer shawl. This is definitely going to be used for winter times or colder times, cooler evenings. So yeah, I just thought it was absolutely beautiful, and I could not wait to share it with you guys. So go ahead and check it out, whether you go with Mikey's tutorial or Marley Bird. I know that they would both be great for you. Okay, a couple of small little update things. You know, I knew that this one project wasn't going to be enough to talk about, so I wanted to share some other little tidbits here and there. I like to kind of save those up and put them together. So if you have ever purchased one of these or used one of these before, please let us know. It is a rotary cutter, so there's a little safety button here, and then as you whoops, that was the safety. There we go. As you hold the trigger down, that blade comes out, and so you can cut, rotary cut. I'm not, you know, I'm sure some people who are seamstresses or work with fabric have used these before. I have not. I found it on Amazon. Some of them, it comes with a solid blade, and then this is what's called a skip blade because it's got spaces in it. So long time ago, maybe like 2 years ago, I think, we started seeing a really big, I started to see a really big influx of mosaic crochet, and a gal out of Sweden or Finland or something, I beg your pardon, Tinna, I think is her name, doing little coin pouches and little bags and stuff. And for those of us who want to line them, I found that I wanted to maybe try like this, where the bag was already here, and then just sew into the area around the zipper. The way that she showed, or the other people have shown as well, is you just use a really small, like maybe a 1mm crochet hook to force the crochet hook through to make your your holes. I didn't want to do that. So I bought these thinking I was going to be brave, and then I've been holding on to them for a long time. So I saw somebody do a, you know, crochet around a zipper. Anyway, that's what I've been trying to say this whole time. Crocheting around a zipper to make a little coin purse, or create, you know, one that's with a, what is this, canvas bag already. So I thought if I could put the holes in it with this, it would be easier to crochet into. But now I'm like, what do? I feel awkward. I'm not sure what the right way to do it is. So if you've worked with one of these before, give me some tips down below, would you? For all of us, maybe all of us are looking, other people besides myself might be looking for this information. The other thing, this has been plaguing me for quite some time. As you guys know, I struggle with making shirts or tops at all, size-wise, gauge-wise. I don't ever do my gauges. So one of the things that I had started working on that's been sitting here was with this beautiful blue color of this Stitch 101 acetate yarn from Hobby Lobby's. And I've worked a couple of projects with this recently and just fell in love with it. When I had it on this project, I was still a little bit unsure. And so what I ended up having was, I've got 2 strips that are the base, you know, the start when you're working from the bottom up on a shirt. So this would be like the front panel, and then a matching back panel that you then sew together. And so I was going to work it, I can't remember who this pattern was by. Oh, I probably got it right here. Oh, I can never say it right. Lenysea. Lenysea. I'll put it down below. It's called the Sleeveless Summer Top, and she used bamboo yarn. But I was trying to use this because I wasn't sure about it. I had never used it before. So it's a real cute little like shell pattern. But after having worked with it with a scarf and a shawl, I just decided I'm going to go ahead and frog these out and put it with the rest of the yarn. I've got 3 skeins here, and I'm going to make another scarf or shawl with it instead of making a shirt with it, because I really liked the way they felt. A scarf, wrap this around your neck, and it's just yummy. I think maybe as a shirt, I don't know. I just changed my mind on it. I get to do that. We get to do that in crochet, right? You can change your mind. So again, I apologize. I'm not feeling too well. I don't know if it's just seasonal or whatever, but it's interrupting my crochet time, and that's making me mad. So I hope you guys are all in great health. I hope you have a wonderfully blessed day, and please do come back and see me again. Thanks for being with me today. Bye-bye.